Alright guys, just got it topped off with tranny fluid. This is my second go around for this transmission. If you hear a little clicking going on, it's that mount vibrating the way I've got it mounted on the roof. I had to go in and wash my hands and change clothes because I am covered in transmission fluid. So, man, I am freaking nervous wreck. So what I did was, per Transgo instructions, I did I modified the dual feed, basically dual feeding the third clutch, so it's getting more fluid to third gear. Because I got a 2.3 flare that is terrible. After rebuilding this tranny, it's a bad flare. Like just normal driving, it was a bad flare. Like the engine would rev up and then it just kind of barely, just kind of slowly go in gear. So the other thing I did was not in the Transgo instructions. It was actually in Chris at CK's book. So I just kind of shot in the dark after reading it all and being kind of into the tranny and kind of trying to understand how it works. It's just something I tried, so this is going to be, here we go for both of us, because I don't know if it's going to work or not. In Transgo's instructions, you have to drill the separator plate. I went to the wild segment. They have mild and they have wild. I think it's 0.93 for mild, and it is 0.110 for wild. So I went to wild on everything that it had on there. So in Chris's book at CK, that particular hole for the 2.3 shift, he drills them at 0.140. So I just went ahead and calipered out drill bits until I found one, and on my caliper it was 139.5. So I drilled that sucker, and then I did per Transgo instructions. You basically bolt a template piece of steel fixture to the case of the transmission after you have the valve body and the separator plate off. You put a sleeve on your drill bit and you leave 0.300 sticking out of your drill bit. And I calipered that out until I had it perfect. Drilled the case. You have to go in there and kind of file a little bit to get the shavings off or whatever, the burrs, until this little plug thing fits in there. It has a little feed hole in it. So I did that, got it all buttoned back up, got it full of fluid. I got it a quart over full, which is what I did last time too. So here we go. See how this goes. If it doesn't work, if it still has a flare, I don't know what's wrong with it. There's second. Ooh, there's two. Heck yeah, man! It fixed it. I don't know if you could tell that in the camera, but it banged it. I felt my body move. See, it wouldn't do that before. The other day, it just kind of flared out like it was slipping real bad. There's two. There's three. Sweet. So at this point, I think it's fixed. I'm not going to do any wide open throttle pulls out here in my housing edition because there's always a bunch of kids running around, and don't really want to go outside the housing edition on a Saturday night and do any wide open throttle pulls because not only is it illegal and I'm such a law-abiding citizen, but the police are probably out since it's Saturday night, and I don't need a ticket. I tell you though, right now I am shaking. I'm so excited. I got no flare now. Looks like a few raindrops hitting the windshield. It's starting to sprinkle. And my speedometer's fixed. Man, that's awesome. Yeah, there it is again. Bam. It's hitting gears just like bam, I love it. Okay, so that's the trick for me anyway, to get rid of the 2-3 flare. Dual fed, third clutch, per transgo instructions. You know, Chris at CK, I did read around on Google. I got onto some forums that Chris has replied to on some people's questions about dual feeding a third clutch on a 204R. He doesn't recommend it unless you have a billet drum. Now, I don't have a billet drum, I have a stock one, but the way he does it is different than transgo. He doesn't drill the case. I drilled the case. Man, that thing hit third hard just then. I love it. I freaking love it. So anyway, I'm just kind of going off what transgo instructions said to do. So I dual fed the third clutch as per transgo instructions. And I drilled the 2-3 hole in the separator plate to .140. Transgo's was .110. My drill bit that I calipered out was 139.5. So there's two things that I did. Now, drilling the hole in the separator plate was just kind of a Hail Mary thing I did. I can tell you right now, I'm glad I did it. I don't know if that's, if it's jerking the camera when it hits third now, but that's freaking badass, man. So this tranny's fixed. It may only last 5 miles, but at least the tranny's shifting now. There it is again. I love it. It's not a super hard shift, it's just nice and firm, but there's still a wide open throttle test I need to do. But at this point, I don't want to take it out and hot rod it right off the bat. I kind of want to, you know, run it a little bit and let the clutches kind of get, break it in, I guess. I don't even know if there's a break-in thing on a tranny. I don't want to hot rod it right now. I just kind of want to drive it a little bit, you know. Anyway, guys, no more 2-3 flare. It's hitting good, so I'm going to go to bed with a smile on my face tonight. And actually, that's not true. I'm going to go in and take a shower, and then I'm going to get on the Call of Duty game with my friends. And I'll probably get my ass whooped pretty bad, so I'll probably go to bed mad. Anyway, tranny's fixed.